We keep saying Misha in quotes. Were you able to ascertain the real name of this individual?
Yes, well, Misha is the short form of the name Mikhail, and his name is Mikhail Alekverdov. And as you said at the outset, he lives in Rhode Island.
Okay, so when you go to him and you got a sense of who he is and what he knows about this situation, what was your take in his understanding and his level of credibility?
Well, I think he was very credible because I knew it was him as soon as I saw him because he fit the physical details that we had already heard about Misha. And I had gotten his name from some sources that I ran across during my investigations in Boston. And they gave me his full name and his home. So when I got there, everything fit the description perfectly. He seemed quite credible to me because his family was quite friendly and welcoming. I walked in the door. I just showed up unannounced because I couldn't get them on the phone. And they were very friendly and welcoming at first, but as soon as I got in the house, they were very, very nervous and anxious because they'd kind of been expecting somebody to show up. And he began telling me, without my having to ask him, that he had cooperated with the FBI, that he'd done all of these things. He'd given over his computer, his cell phone. I didn't really even have to ask about that stuff. He just started unburdening himself because he'd kind of known that this moment was going to come.
Well, Christian, let's talk about what he was unburdening himself with. What did he have to say about what he knows about the brother? Any idea of radicalization, whether or not he had anything to do with it? What could he tell you?
Well, there are a lot of things he didn't tell me because, again, I completely surprised the family and they were very, very nervous and anxious about my being there. So I have to say that at the outset. There's still many questions that we have to get answered. I tried to ask everything that we want to know about Misha, and I wasn't able to ask all of it because I wasn't able to get answers to all of my questions because the family was so nervous and anxious about it. But basically, when I asked him about Tamerlan Tsarnaev, he made it very clear that he had indeed known him. He did not specify any details about the nature of their relationship, but he was very, very, very intent on explaining that he had had nothing to do with any kind of radicalization. What he told me was, I was not his teacher. If I had been his teacher, I would have made sure that he knew that doing something like this was wrong. So he was very, very emphatic about that, very upset. And went to great lengths to convince me that he really had nothing to do with this. And he made the point, he claimed to me that the FBI had told him that his case was in fact about to be closed because the FBI had investigated his computer, his cell phone, all of his equipment and documents, and concluded that he wasn't really involved, certainly not involved in the organization of the attacks. Now, is that true? I don't know, but we still have to find out.